Well, these people do. There's one circle of radicals who view the world in a similar fashion. The man behind the WikiLeaks page and all of these leaks, currently hiding out in Britain. You know who his attorney is? Okay, here's the guy who's running WikiLeaks. And that's his attorney, Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens is so weird. Happens to do pro bono stuff for George Soros and the Open Society Institute. Isn't that weird? When the founder of WikiLeaks set out to establish funding for WikiLeaks, guess who he negotiated with? The Open Society Institute. George Soros. That's strange, isn't it? Wow. Man, we should call for the top down, shouldn't we? Because the bottom's rising up. I wonder if anybody in the administration could help us with the internet. WikiLeaks wrote an award-winning report called The Cry of Blood. This is great. Cry of Blood. The report was published by the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. George Soros. WikiLeaks once listed Soros-connected Chinese human rights leader as one of its advisors. Well, I say once listed them because they've scrubbed the website. Oh, too bad for WikiLeaks and George Soros and everybody else. Too bad we have watchdogs that printed everything before it was scrubbed from the web. Oh. I want you to listen carefully because this monologue is going to be taken out of context. Here's what people are going to say. Glenn Beck says George Soros is behind WikiLeaks. That is not what I am saying. Could I make it any clearer? George Soros' Open Society Foundations came out in August and said that it was not taking a position on the WikiLeaks documents, but it opposed any and all disclosures about identifiable civilians that would put them at risk. That's because Open Society has an interest in Afghanistan. But have you noticed they're not taking a position on this? And it's the same group of people, Marxists, anarchists, Code Pink, Michael Moore, everybody. I want you to hear this clearly. I do not believe in a star chamber. I don't think Michael Moore is calling George Soros and George Soros is getting on the phone and telling Cass Sunstein. They're not doing that. These people are not secretly meeting and telling each other what to do or giving each other directions. What I am talking to you about is what Al-Qaeda is calling Operation Hemorrhage for their part. What I have called the perfect storm, where like-minded people who want to destroy the Republic, seize an opportunity. And the window of opportunity for anarchy and chaos on this planet to overthrow our system here and the systems abroad is now. And it's not just George Soros who would like to change the system. There is more to this story than just a disgruntled 22-year-old soldier who wants to make a name for himself. Again, the kid describes world anarchy as beautiful and horrifying. And remember, these leaks don't teach us anything new. All they do is create, like he said, anarchy and chaos around the globe. Well, what was step 3 of George Soros's plan for overthrowing countries? If you remember from this program about a month ago. Step 3 was, there it is, destabilize the state, create anti-government sentiment. Does this destabilize our state? Yeah, damn right it does. Does it cause anti-government sentiment? Yes. It's not really hard to do these days, is it? I want you to check this video out. It's a socialist that The Blaze posted last week. He's saying that the time for revolution is now. Find it at theblaze.com. It's not just George Soros or Wiki or any group of people that want us to, collapse, make waves, and create confusions. It is Operation Hemorrhage, death by 1,000 paper cuts. And it's not just one group trying to do it. But remember this. We surround them. It's an illusion. Just don't cry for the top to come down and protect you, because they will. The last question I have for you is, who can you trust? May I suggest that you trust yourself? That is what WikiLeaks should have taught you. And then do what Shelley Winters and Ernest Borgnine did in the Poseidon adventure. They followed this man.
I want to appeal to you for the last time. You don't know what you're talking about. I know this much. The sea is going to keep pouring in. We're going to keep settling deeper and deeper. We may even go under before we get up to the bottom to cut our way out. But it's something to try. It's a chance. We might make it. If you stay here, you'll certainly die.
May I suggest that you become him? There are those intentionally creating chaos, and there are those who will just stand there in the ballroom with the ship upside down. And they will wait for help while others try to destroy the free market system and replace it with their socialist utopia. Have truth in your life. Put yourself in a position to be independent and strong and a leader. Do not be the one stranded when the water comes pouring in. Instead, be the ones that lead others to the surface. Back in a minute. America, I'm working on some things, not only for next year, but in the coming days, that you really need to watch and pay attention to and do your own homework. It revolves around the way things are coming apart and what we're falling into. Europe is coming apart at the seams. The great EU experiment has been a total disaster. Amazingly, their heads are still buried in the sand, mainly because people don't know what to do, and they've been taught that they're too stupid to figure it out on their own. We've been warning you about the coming trouble in Europe. When Greece was in trouble, they say they'd be fine. Oh, they'll be fine. And then they needed a bailout. And then they needed one so big that it would be breathtaking in size. And if they did that, everything would be fine. It would just be Greece. But then Ireland started to crumble. They said, oh, it was nothing. They'll be fine. And then it needed to be a breathtaking bailout. Well, they just were forced to take the bailout. Portugal says it's not needing a bailout. No, everyone's saying it's fine, sure. And Spain is next after that, and so on and so on. We told you that it would be contagious. Why? Mutually assured economic destruction. Spit yourself out of the system or you will go down with it. One by one, they are falling into the arms of a global government, but they still remain in denial. Finally, someone had the courage to try to wake up the EU. I'll show you that in a second. But first, answer this. When America is faced with the very same choice, which will you choose? An America with a freer, smaller, and maybe broke United States and small states? We may be poor. Or do we go for the New World Order? The time for you to decide is coming. Do your own homework and decide. Wake your neighbors up and decide. Because they're facing this decision now in Europe. Listen to the warning.
The whole edifice is beginning to crumble. There's chaos. The money's running out. I should thank you. You should perhaps be the pin-up boy of the Eurosceptic movement. But just look around this chamber this morning. Just look at these faces. Look at the fear. Look at the anger. Poor old Barroso here looks like he's seen a ghost. You know, they're beginning to understand that the game is up. And yet in their desperation to preserve their dream, they want to remove any remaining traces of democracy from the system. And it's pretty clear that none of you have learned anything. You know, when you yourself, Mr Van Rompuy, say that the euro has brought us stability, I suppose I could applaud you for having a sense of humour, but isn't this really just the bunker mentality? You know, your fanaticism is out in the open. You talked about the fact that it was a lie to believe that the nation state could exist in a 21st century globalised world. Well, that may be true in the case of Belgium, who haven't had a government for 6 months, but for the rest of us, right across every member state in this union, and perhaps this is why we see the fear in the faces, increasingly people are saying, we don't want that flag, we don't want the anthem, we don't want this political class, we want the whole thing consigned to the dustbin of history. And we had the Greek tragedy earlier on this year, and now we have the situation in Ireland. Now I know that the stupidity and greed of Irish politicians has a lot to do with this. They should never ever have joined the euro. They suffered with low interest rates, a false boom and a massive bust. But look at your response to them. What they're being told, as their government's collapsing, is that it would be inappropriate for them to have a general election. In fact, Commissioner Wren here said they had to agree their budget first before they'd be allowed to have a general election. Just who the hell do you think you people are? You are very, very dangerous people indeed. Your obsession with creating this Euro state means that you're happy to destroy democracy. You appear to be happy for millions and millions of people to be unemployed and to be poor. Untold millions must suffer so that your Euro dream can continue. Well, it won't work, because it's Portugal next. With their debt levels of 325% of GDP, they're the next ones on the list, and after that, I suspect it'll be Spain. And the bailout for Spain would be 7 times the size of Ireland, and at that moment, all of the bailout money has gone. There won't be any more. But it's even more serious than economics, because if you rob people of their identity, if you rob them of their democracy, then all they are left with is nationalism and violence. I can only hope and pray that the Euro project is destroyed by the markets before that really happens.
If you rob people of this, do you hear what he's saying? They're only left with nationalism, which we warned you of on this program. That is coming. Nationalism and violence. Bottom up, top down, inside out. This is not an American thing. This is not about Barack Obama. This is an international, global problem. That was Nigel Farage. He is the leader of the UK Independent Party. I want you to understand, as much as you possibly can, this will probably be the last political book I write, because politics is not the way to solve this. This book answers all 3 questions, and this Thursday night, I want you to ask your friends and your neighbors to get together and go see Broke. It is the story of America's economy, where we have been, where we are headed, and most importantly, the solution. I'm doing a live performance from a theater in Pittsburgh at the Benedum Theater, and it is going to be beamed into movie theaters all across the country. It's kind of a little town hall meeting. You must be the leader in our nation's future. You need to educate your friends and your family. Tough decisions are coming. I'd like to see you there this Thursday. Go to fathomevents.com and find a theater near you. Thursday, Broke. Back in a minute.
Hey, wasn't Obamacare supposed to be a big win for the unions? I mean, they were the ones out on the street supporting it. So why is SEIU dropping care for the kids of 30,000 low-wage union workers? Exposing the truth about the unions. Next.